the 10th place with the puzzle in the famous zombie game Dying Light, and in this puzzle we are sitting mocking the second famous zombie game, which is Rose the Evil Girl. Which is exactly the same as the character of Leon, the hero of the Eiffel Girl games, and if you are not sure, with every word you will discover that his name is Leon. This means that it is 100%. Only a word will ask you to help the company of the one whose name is Chris, who is in the next room, and if you go to help Chris, you will find Chris the zombie transformer and you must kill him, and if you doubt his property after you kill him, you will know that this character is Chris Rat and one of the heroes of the Rosie Girl Evil games, too, so the game is all serious. The zombies in the Resident Evil game are very easy and simple compared to playing the Din play, and the heroes of the Evil Girl game will never survive in the world of Dying Light. In all honesty, I support them with zombies. In Dink Light, he makes you a bark core punch from Amar to Amara. At night, types of zombies appear to you, and it is impossible to kill them. Frankly, Dying Light zombies are more hidden in the 9th rank than the puzzle, which is very funny in the game The Watch, in which it makes fun of the game basically. I think you all know the Essential Creed games, which are one of the most famous game series in the world and one of the most famous moves in the game of politicians. Creed is Lee Office's move, which is this jump to see it in front of you in which the hero jumps from a very high place on a haystack, and I think we all agree that this jump is unrealistic. In fact, if someone jumps from this height on a haystack, he will die, and this puzzle is in the game of Charles II. At the beginning of the game, if you go to one of the places, you will see a haystack and in it the dead body of the hero from the Basically Creed game, and the hero of the Wide Sharp game says that they will never learn the rule of a mocker on this unrealistic jump from them. Basically Creed game. Norman Kessler. Ranked 8th for the 2 most competitive games in history, Golf GT and Pat the Elephant. Quite frankly, the Golf GT was and still is always beating the Elephant broadcast, beating it in popularity and numbers of sales, except once, when it became the opposite in the year 2016. Golfgate got a massive internet penalty, and it was the worst part of the series, with over 4 million likes on YouTube. On the other hand, EE downloaded Bit Elephant 1 to be considered one of the best parts of the series. This is the only year the Elephant Bit has beaten the Golf Jet in sales. Because of this thing, developers such as Phil, who worked on the game, went on Twitter and became mocked at Korea. One of them wrote, "I saw the new Color Gate ad. Easy. Bad graphics, de Gaulle, school students to work on this game," and a second developer wrote graphics are the game's graphics, pink, as if they were coming out from 10 years ago, and this is the first time. Elephant Bits attacking the Golf GT in the year 2014. The company wrote on the covers of their new game, "Bat Elephant 4 will put Golf Duty to shame, and also not attack a second older than you in one of the popular missions in Golf Duty Modern Over 2 in the market featuring bikes on snow." Is it a task they put in both ads and everyone knows about it? And in the Battlefield Back Company 2 game, which was released after a year, you are involved in normal shopping and you find the hero saying that the snow barricades are aimed at Cece, which is a shameful word, frankly, but it means people who do not have manhood. By God, Fayez, if you always notice that Pete Field is the one who mocks and destroys Sakechar, I say you came or did mark, and did not come to make fun of Bit Elephant. In 7th place, we have a game that made fun of the second game with a very simple, but very insulting puzzle as well. The puzzle is in the Internet Cafe Millie Tour 2 game, and the game is simply an Internet Cafe simulator, which means you play with a person who has an Internet Cafe and needs to be thirsty and serve his customers. The puzzle is quite simple. If you go outside the Internet Cafe and go to the garbage, you will find a character from the game Mandus Mitt, order me there. I mean, the developers of the game are serious about saying that Amen is an unclean game of garbage. And there is a second puzzle in the second game, and almost the same idea as the puzzle in the show Tar game. The Duke of New Forever in the game plays as one character who sees himself wrestling and fighting monsters, but in one of the missions in the game you will find the armor of the Master Chief character from the Halo game, who is considered a character who has prestige and is very popular in the Halo game and the world of games in general. The important thing is that when your character in the game of dominoes goes and sees the shield, he will say this thing. He who did not understand said that he who wears this strong shield that protects you from enemies is considered a coward and a coward. He said a word dirtier, but I cannot say it. Fry thus simply insulted one of the most powerful characters in the history of games. In the 6th rank from us, one of the largest gaming companies mocked a second huge game company, which is Sony PlayStation. Mocking the Xbox in the year 2013. There was a huge game exhibition called i3, and at this exhibition Sony announced the PlayStation 4, Microsoft announced the Xbox, and Microsoft made several stupid changes to the Xbox, such as that you must have a permanent internet connection in order to play any game on the device. Then they announced that the price of the device was $500, which is considered very expensive. And the last stupid statement is that you can't share games with your friends or sell them just by putting the CD in your device, so I won't play on any other device. People were very upset by these statements after the time came for the announcement of the PlayStation. Sony took advantage of the situation and stated that what you need a permanent connection to the internet in order to play on the device, and the price of the device is $400 cheaper than the Xbox and the Knockout. Is the director of the PlayStation himself, who made a mocking video My Xbox. The title of the video was How to Share Games with Your Friends DC High Games Baseball. Banks, and do you want to share PlayStation games with your friends? I simply give them the CD, unlike the Xbox, who don't mind this. Who is behind this mockery video and stupid statements with Xbox? This thing led to the killing of the Xbox and the victory of the PlayStation device to the present day in the 5th place for playing the sequel. This game is supposed to have a serious atmosphere because in the game you wanted to play a hired killer and your goal is to go and kill certain people. But to play the game you will know that HTML is one of the most funny and strange puzzles, and one of the best puzzles in the game is when you make fun of other games. In one of the missions in the game, you have the task of infiltrating a villa and killing a person in it, and you have the option to dress your character in any clothes you like, and you will find that you have a very luxurious choice of clothes, as well as the character wearing a black abaya and wearing a mask as if he was coming from the Foundation, and if he wears this dress and you will miss the elephants and the guards got you this thing, except for Boya's daughter, Baxter's device. Any like what I heard will tell you where is my brother. Think episodes of playing mainly Creed, God, Angela, but there is a second puzzle also in the Hitman game that mocked me in the Super Mario game. One of the missions in the game is in the sewers in Italy, and you have to infiltrate a specific place and then come there. Mario himself. You will find someone who looks the same as Super Mario and wears the same clothes as him. You must eat and throw his corpse in the sewage system. You will see that he is really Mario's name in the game. Not only that, its agglomeration ranked 4th in the year 2015. Justin Lee's game is a game of space and tension, combined with energy drink and cooperation. You just buy any Red Bull. You will find a special code under the cover, but use this code in the game and it will open a special mission for you that you can play, and the players were annoyed by this thing because the code will not work unless I originally bought a package inside the game, so you have to buy the game for $60 and buy a package for $40, and then buy a Red Bull in order to open this mission for you. In the end, the mission was bad, and the players were also annoyed that they encouraged people to drink Red Bull, which is a definitely unhealthy energy drink. Okay, I know I have a fridge behind me. Red Bull, but that doesn't mean it's a healthy drink. Okay, from the game that took advantage of this situation and mocked the constitutional play. The zombie game, Dink Light, is the same as the one we mentioned in the 10th place. The game announced on Twitter about a free drinking water package. All you have to settle is to take the package. Take a picture with a glass of water and post it on Twitter with the hashtag followed by them, and they will give you the special code for the package. And it was shown on the image of the package that drinking water is healthy and better than energy drinks. And the terrible thing is that the packages will give him 3 very wonderful missions, and in one of the missions, your character will speak like this to Berry Jaguar Land, and once you finish the missions, water fountains will spread throughout the map, but you will drink from them, and your health will increase in the game. With an electric weapon, the effect of the weapon will be stronger, and all of this is for free. Unlike Dusty alone, you buy Red Bull and buy a package inside the game, and in the end it is a bad mission. In the third place, we have 2 old games that were ridiculed, and they have the driver game and the GTA game, which does not know the driver game, so it was one of the strongest car games on the PlayStation 1. The second game, which is Driver 2, was where you got out of your car and walked, but the walking method was very bad, and people hated it, and it was not the game itself, and it was much better. Rockstar downloaded the GTS 3 game. It was the same principle as the driver game, a car market. You can get out of your car and walk, but the movement and walking system in it was better in stages than the driver and GTA games, but they took the idea from them and that's it. You have a mission to kill the useless policeman outside his car, and the policeman's name is Tanner, the same name as the character in Driver. They say that the character driver outside his car is useless, and this mission will start. Your character will walk in a very stupid manner, mistreating the same walk as the driver character, but the driver game did not remain silent about this thing, but they downloaded their next part. Driver 3 was on a mission in which you had to kill a criminal, and this criminal looked like a bad guy. Set the same character from GTA Vice City and even the same name, and the funny thing is that they are placed on the hands of swimming buoys that children wear, you mocker. The character in GTE at the time was not able to rank second to us, one of the largest gaming companies, which literally mocks the largest company in the world, which is Epic Games, and mocks Apple. Apple Games launched the Battle Royale in the game Fortnite in the year 2017, and the game succeeded in an unnatural success. The numbers of its players exceeded 200 million. So after this great success, the company grew into a head and decided to attack and file a court case against Apple. Why did you sue them? Because Apple Inc. is 30% of the profits of anything sold on the iPhone. And Apple Games has Fortnite on the iPhone, and anything sold inside Fortnite is 30% going to Apple. They said in the lawsuit that this is a very large percentage compared to the rest of the companies. After they filed the lawsuit against them, Apple removed Fortnite from the iPhone completely. Fortnite's response to this movement was that it posted an advertisement video inside the game, and they said that it makes fun of Apple. They see a rotten Apple character in which they mean Apple, and they see the Apple as an evil one who controls people. He also distributed the rotten Apple knife to all players for free. The lawsuit continued in 3 courts, years, and every little time, the two companies attacked each other, and after all this, a court decision came out last month with the victory of Apple in the case, and Apple Games must pay them compensation in the millions in the first place for the most disparaging game company in its competitors, which is Sega from a long time ago. It had a gaming device and it was one of the largest gaming companies in the world, and they have always used their power in order to make a mockery of second gaming companies like. In the year 1988, they downloaded the Genesis carpet device, and the device was more powerful than the most famous gaming device. This is the time when Nintendo Osaka released an advertisement that was in a song, and the song in it was the phrase, "the unit that made it back," which is the genus of DAS 8 Nintendo Disney. And it was a game that mocked Nintendo because their device was weak, and then they say that their device is the most powerful and also mocked Nintendo again through a riddle in their most famous game. Sonic the game had to fight the evil one, but he was wearing a very large robot suit that was obviously powerful. The suit was called HPC-001, which is the default name or code name for the Nintendo device. Okay, where is the mockery of the subject or tide? fight this monster with 1 or 2 hits. The whole suit will break and he will lose. The message means that the Nintendo device is bad and will be ruined with you quickly. In the year 1994, Sony released the PlayStation 1, and it was seizing the market from Nintendo and Sega. Sega started downloading a device after the year, the name Sega Satra, and it was stronger than the PlayStation 1 and so announced every mockery, but rather the PlayStation 1. They put you on a picture of a baby crying and threw the device from a high building, which means that the device is weak. They threw it for nothing, and after all the mockery, their device sold 10 million copies, while the PlayStation sold over 100 million copies. Sega was mocking everyone, and now they are all overcoming it before we finish.